Let's now talk about some aspects of teaching pragmatic competence outside the traditional or formal classrooms. We need to know that the teaching of pragmatic competence may not end with the classroom setting. Rather, there are some complicated and complex social functions of the language which may not be fully covered in the classroom. Despite teachers' best effort or learners' best effort, they would probably need certain exposure to real-life social situations in which they would actually practice those situations and could develop their pragmatic knowledge regarding those socio-communicative situations. There are certain advanced communicative needs, for example, interview skills, workplace literacy skills, and business letter writing, and there are so many others which would probably would be exercised more precisely or more effectively if they are done outside the classroom also. Locastro has suggested some factors which are highly important for good job interviews, and most of them you would see would rely on our exposure to real life situations. For example, self-presentation, grammatical and lexical accuracy, and appropriacy, and the ability to produce synthesized talk about various aspects of our future professional life as well as our previous academic and personal lives. And that would also involve the inclusion of our various academic and professional experiences, and that naturally would require some kind of competence in the linguistic and pragmatic aspects of the language we are speaking in. In this regard, we can see some other researchers. For example, few researchers suggested some pedagogical processes to help L2 learners develop their job interview skills. And in the process, we can see that a combination of video or simulated job interviews can be presented to the students, where they could see the critique of experts that what has been done is right or wrong, how could this be improved. That could be shown to the students, and there could be a trial run for the students based on such videos, and where they could actually polish their interview skills, and that would give them a kind of real life like exposure to real communication situations. Small talk, enthusiasm, body language, evidence of cross-cultural misunderstanding, intelligibility, and positive behavior, they all can be trained in or can be practiced in a better way in the situations outside the classroom. The instructional processes outside the traditional classroom comprised three phases. They can comprise on these different phases. However, a teacher, depending on their own needs, the nature of their classroom and students, they could adjust these phases according to their own instructional setting. Students would observe native speaker discourse for example, job interviews or for any other real life skill. They could observe native speakers doing that. Then they can become aware of the differences, that how they expect it to be and how the native speakers or the experts are doing it. And then they can think about those differences and adjust themselves according to what they have learned in the process. Then have lots of practice using new discourse and socio-pragmatic strategies used by the native speakers in the videos they see or in the exposures they get by interacting with them. Such training for the workplace can be a challenge for employers or new employees. Employers themselves would not be able probably to give people development in these areas quite easily, but students or classroom instructions or the teachers outside the classroom can probably equip their students in a better way for such skills if they also take help from the facilities or from the possibilities available outside the classroom. Cameron, in one of the books, says that looks into how UK industry has changed their consumer behavior or communication with their customers, and what kind of language norms they have adopted recently. And in those norms, Cameron has noticed that sales clerks are expected to use language to make the prospective customer welcome, to feel welcome, feel better, and that can be seen as a help in the promotion or expansion of the business in which such skills are employed. Their needs must appear to be tended to. The customer should get feeling in such situations that their needs has been attended to and they would be fulfilled soon. And therefore, we can see some kind of excessive politeness in UK professional communication, especially when there is a direct interaction with the customers or the consumers. Looking at these examples, we can see that though pragmatic norms can be taught within the classrooms or in traditional instructional settings, but if we couple this teaching with some outside environment experience or exposure, the students can get the pragmatic norms of second language in a better way, and we could expect a better proficiency of these norms on the part of students.